It is episode 25, my friends, and for the first time ever, here on The Real Finfluencers, I'm doing something we've never done before, and that is running an episode without a guest. Wait. Before we dive into the conversation with today's guest, welcome to The Real Finfluencers, a podcast born from our original video series spotlighting financial professionals who are using video to grow their business and their influence. Here's something you should know. Most of these guests aren't Idea Decanter clients. They've built their digital presence from the ground up, and they're here to share exactly how they did it. I'm your host, Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, and my goal is simple: help you discover strategies you can actually use, steal what works, get inspired, and find your own unique brand of Finfluence. Now let's get into it. We're celebrating 25 episodes with a look back at 5 of the best tips from the Finfluencer series. So let's get into it. The journey for the Real Finfluencers podcast really started in August of 2024 when I thought, wouldn't it be cool to track down folks in financial services who are really killing it with video, invite them on to an interview series, ask them for their secrets, and then share it with the rest of the world. So great idea, right? But you're thinking, well, they're not going to really want to share their secrets. Turns out Real Finfluencers have no problem showing up for interviews, sharing their secrets, really spreading the word about what they are doing that's working well. Once the Real Finfluencers was launched and I got a couple dozen interviews in, I realized that there was so much valuable information there that it made sense to write a book about it. And that book is now available on Amazon. It's called Find Your Finfluence, a guide for financial advisors. We'll put the link in the show notes. And then what was always intended to be a video series, by popular demand, we turned it into a podcast. So for people who like to listen and walk their dogs or multitask in some other way, we wanted the show to be available to consume however you want. The cool thing about the podcast is while we're limiting the interview video series to about 8 minutes, the podcast is sort of the uncut version. You get to hear every single insight from each of the Finfluencers. So I would invite you to check that out. The Real Finfluencers on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever it is you listen, that is available for you. I promised you a best of for episode 25, but I want to introduce you to the 3, 2, 1 countdown first. This is a framework that I built specifically for the book to kind of put in logical order all of the tips that the Finfluencers were sharing with me on the series. The 3 is for prepare, because you have to get clear before you create. 2 is for record, because you want to show up in a way that's real and relatable. And the 1 is for convert. That is turning the attention you get into action. So stick with me as we start with 3 in the 3, 2, 1 countdown. That's prepare. And think of it as getting locked in on what you know about your ideal client. And tell me between then and now what you credit the view difference to. So those original videos, you were getting, 50 views, 100 views, maybe a couple of 100 views. And now you get thousands. How did you happen?
For me, and this anecdotally speaking, is whenever I started talking more specific to my niche, right? And I know this is kind of a plug for having a niche, but once I started to talk about equity compensation, those were the videos that I saw starting to get some traction, right? Because, there's tons of videos out there that are about, Roth versus traditional and, wide ranging financial planning topics. But whenever it talks about, hey, how does AMT factor into incentive stock options, then, there's not a very big game in town. So that has a higher chance of gaining that traction.
Mike's pitch for the niche is a theme that came up over and over in episodes of The Real Finfluencers. The idea that you really need to understand the pain points of your ideal client and then create content around that. So for Mike, he used to be a software engineer who got equity comp from his company, became a financial advisor, and now his niche audience is software engineers who get equity comp from their companies. Back in 2020, he recorded a video about RSUs, and it was not fancy production quality. It was something he did with the webcam on his computer. He posted that on YouTube in 2020, and today it has over 100,000 views. So something to be thinking about with the pitch for the niche. Next up in the 3, 2, 1 countdown, 2 is for record. And to do that, it helps to have some gear so you look and sound great, or what one real influencer called infrastructure. When I asked Derek to sum up in a sentence what he thought the secret to success for him was on social, especially with video, he said infrastructure, practice, and not taking myself too seriously. What do you mean by infrastructure? Do you have any secrets you want to share?
So if you're using your phone, well, have a decent camera on your phone and have a good mic set up, whether it's earbuds or something that actually captures your voice clearly. Because if people can't hear you, they're gone. Make sure the picture quality is good. Like sitting here today, I'm using my webcam on my computer, but I have an external mic, external webcam. They're optimized. They sound really good. Give people a great experience where it almost feels like they're sitting next to you in real life.
So Derek is using a good webcam and a microphone. This isn't rocket science. This is gear that you can easily get off of Amazon. In fact, at Idea Decanter, we've been shooting with advisors since 2014, doing it remotely since 2019 through a downloadable app to your phone. And since 2019, the Pro Gear Kit that we ship out to you costs under $350. So there's really no excuse to not be seen or be heard or give your audience the experience that they're sitting across the table from you. I want to get real with you. You might not love the idea of recording videos, and that's okay. But frankly, you have to push past that if you want to find your own Finfluence. And to do that, let's talk about Stacy's idea of giving yourself a reward to record.
And while it's not comfortable for me to be on camera, I'm that ambitious introvert, and I don't have the time and the bandwidth to make it perfect. I'm just leaning in because I think realistically, that authenticity, the real me on camera, that's really what people are looking for. That's what people are connecting with. That's, I think, why video is so successful. And so I'm just trying to buy into that and put my own perfectionism aside and say, this is what people want. This is what is going to help people connect with me, that I'm just being real and that I'm sharing the knowledge that I have in videos that I'm making. If it takes a glass of wine after I've made the video to kind of, have that relaxation after, so that I can say, okay, I've done it. And now it's, my time to meditate, to do, speak to my therapist about, how stressful that was, whatever it is for me, or whatever it is might be for you, just to get over it. Because that, for me, I believe that marketing through video is that shortest distance between starting a business, launching a business, and finding my niche and finding the right clients.
Dark chocolate, wine, a therapy session, whatever it takes. Okay, back to the 3, 2, 1 countdown. And 1 is for convert. That is turning the attention into action. And this is really the heart of what we heard from the Finfluencers, because this isn't an ego play. This isn't a vanity project. For that, you'd just be wasting your time. It's about getting real results. And Mando Sallavanti is a great example of that. Is your strategy on LinkedIn entirely video, or do you have a content mix?
I have a mix, but one thing that I do is pay attention to what jumps off the page. And what I mean by that is like, so that video right there that had 400 and some likes, that video got almost 700,000 views. I got 4 leads just from that video. The one after it that has 221 likes in the column above, that one got almost 200,000 views. I got another 4 leads from that. So this was within a 3-day time span, if I remember correctly. So when that happened a couple of weeks ago, I said, all right, LinkedIn's clearly pushing video right now, and it's converting to clients coming to my inbox. I'm going to double down on this for a few weeks and just see where it takes me, because I found that this is working.
Just like Mike, that former software engineer, Mando's not trying to be for everyone. He works with a lot of high-performing sales execs who have variable compensation, some really big months, some slimmer months. And he talks a lot about that in his content. If you were going to write one thing down from all of these tips, is that the more niche-y, I like to spell that niche-y, but you can go niche-ie, but the more niche your content, the better it will work. I want to hit you one more time in the heart, because the convert stage of 3, 2, 1 countdown is really all about getting results. And let's turn to Kevin for one more word of advice on that front. So I talk all the time about the ROI of video. When you're creating videos mainly to connect with your clients, to put Kevin in front of the people who already love him more often, what do you see? What dots are you connecting there for ROI?
I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're in this because you're trying to get another revenue stream, then you're in it for the wrong reason. In my humble opinion, the revenue will come if you create great content. And if you're trying to create revenue first, then you're gonna burn out, and you're gonna say, this is dumb, because you're not gonna see anything. Maybe for a year, maybe for 2, maybe for 10. The people that you're seeing that are having extreme success on platforms have been there for a long, long time. So if you're just expecting to come in and say, hey, I'm going to create some content and create a couple of videos, then don't waste your time.
Take Kevin's message to heart. Don't treat video like a short-lived marketing strategy where you just give it a month or even less and then move on and say it didn't work. With any marketing strategy, you should give it your full-fledged effort for 18 months to really give it a chance to tune in and amp up the results for you. So there you have it, 5 powerful tips from the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Think about which piece you're missing. Is it pitching to the niche, that real focus on your ideal client, or is it the commitment to sticking with it? I encourage you to check out the book, Find Your Finfluence, on Amazon, because we covered 5 tips from these Finfluencers today. The book actually gives you 52, so you can go so much deeper. Thanks for tuning in for historic episode 25. And I'll leave you with this. If these real Finfluencers can do it, so can you. And if you need some help with video, that's what we do at Idea Decanter. Oh, one more thing. If you're not already part of Idea Decanter's real Finfluencer community, now is your chance to join us. Head to ideadecanter.com/join, and you'll be in. You'll get early access to advisor video tips, invites to exclusive events, and behind-the-scenes insights that you won't find on Google or even on ChatGPT. Whether you're just video curious or already knee-deep in content creation, this is the place to grow your influence with video. Don't miss out. And thanks so much for listening to The Real Finfluencers.